Welcome to the Religiously Offensive Podcast.
I took both of those tests too.
Same.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Second one's taking me a minute.
Honestly, I don't want to be that person, but they make sense. They make sense.
I do. No, you read the summary and you're like, I hate that that's me.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, dang. You got to get it together, Gab.
I don't think the Enneagram is false. I'll say that. Is that a hot take?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
what she
I
was
thought that was
saying.
pretty accurate.
I think the horoscope stuff is false.
Oh, that has nothing to do with anything.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just want to say, I'll read mine first because I do. Because I started reading it and I was like, whoa.
Gabby's in the middle.
Whoa.
She's not sure.
Bro, let me yeah. Okay, are we starting? We're going to start? Hello. Welcome.
You know how this works. We've already started.
Yeah. All right. So June 14th, Virgo. September 13th.
Is it Virgo or Virgo? Virgo sounds.
Virgo just makes me cringe.
Virgo.
Okay.
All right.
It says, you felt the need to create over the past several days, Virgo. This attitude is certainly due to the planetary positions, but could also underlie your desire to change your professional and private lives. Not true, guys. I love you. I'm going to stay. Therefore, you should let your creative mind come out. How about writing poetry or enrolling in a ceramics class? Don't refrain from showing the secret part of your personality to those closest to you. Revive your love. Make this the year your love grows with a psychic love reading, which I'm not going to do. But over the weekend,
Gabby's going to start a pottery store.
Dude, over the weekend, I'm not lying to you. Over the weekend, me and Rachel found an art studio where we're going to start taking ceramic classes for the next few months. Is
dope.
that not
That's
a
weird.
coincidence?
It is a coincidence for sure.
is.
And that's all it is.
That's wild. No.
That's kind of
The moons and stuff.
that's a lot. that's pretty
Crazy.
yeah. That's oddly specific.
I know.
That is weird.
It's Jupiter's approaching Virgo, apparently.
So does that mean all ceramic classes are about to flood with Virgo applications?
I bet you
guess.
if I go ask the other people in my class
what's
if
your
they're
birthday?
a Virgo, they're all going to be Virgos.
You know what's funny? It's like with other things though, because it's not like a gradient scale. It's like, okay, I think Aries ends at April 19th. It's
Are
like,
any of
well,
you
if
in
you're April
Aries?
20th, I am.
Uh-oh.
My career. So today's matches. You have a love, a friendship, and a career match. Guess who's my career match?
Who's that?
In Aries.
Oh wow,
Wow.
it just gets better and better. So I have a few here. This is Aries, June 14, 2022.
Here we go.
Today's aspects will influence you to interact naturally with your circle of friends, Aries. I love how they address you as your.
That
I
you don't
know,
have
it's
a
my
name.
name.
You don't have a name.
You're tired of hiding your feelings. You want to act in the way your instincts guide you. However, you're afraid of other people's reactions. Sometimes you don't express your emotions or opinions simply because you're afraid of what they might say or think. Try to gain more self-confidence. That's
I feel
absolutely
like that's not true
it's
for you.
absolutely not me. It's the opposite of me.
It's the actual opposite.
I feel like maybe the whole don't express your emotions things might be true. Well, to
Yeah.
To a
that's-
t- yeah.
To a degree.
a degree, yeah. But I feel like you're pretty confident.
Yeah, I feel like I say what
you're not
I
afraid
say
of
what
what
I'm
you-
thinking.
You're not afraid of what people
literally
think, yeah.
created an entire podcast to say what you think.
Yeah.
All right, horoscope.com. You drop the ball.
This was astrology.com. These are all different. It's just
Really? I'm on horoscope.com and I literally just read exactly what you just read for Aries.
No, that's and that was that one.
That means it must be
No,
true.
I'm saying that was
That's where he read it
horoscope.com. This is
Okay.
astrology.com. So that all these sources have different horoscopes.
Gotcha.
Which
Okay.
points to the horse shit here.
Gotcha.
So the energy will be permeable when you wake up this morning, dear Aries. As the Sagittarius full moon manifests in the sky, this luminary event will act as one of the most spiritual days of the year for you. So don't forget to tap into your gratitude, connect with your higher power,
JJ.
and touch base with your soul. Unfortunately, the vibe could get a bit wonky this evening when Luna connects with Saturn and hazy Neptune. The key to surviving these cosmic currents is to make sure you're all caught up with your to-do list so that you can spend the evening surfing the web.
What?
I don't even know.
Wait, that was all?
That went from super spiritual to absolutely not.
So you can watch your phone.
So you can
It's what?
go online.
Yeah, right?
And then here's the other one. Dear Aries, you'll feel self-confident today with the moon. You'll feel self-confident. And the other one's saying I'm not self-confident. With the moon making its way into Sagittarius, astro yogi astrologers predict that everything you do or choose to undertake today will bear satisfactory results and be praiseworthy. Therefore, go with your gut feeling when making important decisions, as this planetary transition will prove favorable for you today. Trust your judgment and instincts, and it will take you closer to your goals. The after-work hours will be good to spend at home with your family. Your lucky hour for the day is between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Today, you should avoid wearing blue. Well, nailed
Good
it.
job. I wore blue.
Spend time at home with my family.
you're not an Aries.
My two girls are in Ohio, and I'm going to a Coldplay concert in Tampa. So that's not spending that at home with my family.
Hey, but you're taking your son to the Coldplay concert.
I'm not.
Oh, what happened?
My wife. It's
you
a
were
long
taking
story.
Lincoln.
No, I'm not.
Okay, off camera.
He would not want to go. He doesn't know Coldplay. It's just
Yeah,
it
true.
would be more of something that I want him to experience. Than,
True.
I'll take him to a concert. Yeah, I want him to experience that.
What's yours, Doyle?
Doyle,
I am a Sagittarius.
look at you.
Today, you're about to put your sense of humor to the test, Sagittarius.
Wow.
You'll likely confront a few unexpected situations.
Catan.
Even if you're used to finding exciting things to do in an ordinary world, you'll be in for a big surprise or two.
Ooh, get ready.
Today, there will be a lot of excitement where you least expect it. Try to let the day's energy guide you.
I love that for you.
He goes to start
Mine
your car
also
and
pitches a free
Revive your
psychic
love
love
thing.
reading at the end, too. Not sure if that's...
Your
An
career matches a
additive.
Gemini. Are any of us Geminis?
Justin, what
I
are
don't
you?
think so.
No.
I'm a Libra. And then
What does that mean?
so
Libra, free? Is that what Spanish for free? Libra? I don't know.
Libre. I don't know.
Isn't a Libra like...
Those are different
black
words,
and
I think,
white stripes?
too.
Today's matches for Justin's for friendship is a Sagittarius.
Wow.
Well, that's weird because mine's a Pisces, so...
Wouldn't it be the same? You think
would
it would
think.
be the same?
You
We're
would
not
think.
friends then.
You would think.
You're my
It's
friend,
a one-way match.
but I'm not yours.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what.
What's
the,
yours, Justin?
Oh, like today, my daily horoscope.
Yeah.
Horoscope.
I got
Libra
it right
is
here.
also a unit of measurement or weight. Random.
For what?
I don't know. It's
I weigh 10 Libras.
I'm thinking it's smaller than
327
that.
grams is an ancient Roman pound, also called a Libra.
Could you imagine going to your drug dealer and be like, yo, let me get a Libra?
Imagine Luke weighing 10 pounds. like you just said.
327 grams is one Libra.
That sounds,
Libre. That
sounds like a lot.
that'll do the job.
Is
Yeah.
it multiple Libras or is it Libre?
I don't know. Libra. Now that I'm actually reading.
Labia?
I don't know. I don't know. Today's horoscope. Let's see.
See what you got.
For Libras. When you feel that your friends are trying to change your everyday life, you shouldn't try to resist it so stubbornly, Libra. Open up your heart and let yourself be led. You'll be surprised at the feeling of freedom this brings. You'll probably have some interesting interactions today. They might change your life completely. Get ready for an exciting day.
Wow. Are you pumped now?
Yeah. It's a good challenge, though,
Did you know
because
today was going to be exciting?
I pretty much resist when anyone tries to change me. It's almost like
You do.
I kind of.
Everybody needs a little change.
I think everyone naturally resists that, though. I resist it. Mm-hmm. You know,
I don't think there's anything wrong with change sometimes.
I
absolutely.
think change is beautiful. Yeah, I think the only constant in life is change.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that
was-
I really like
wow.
about this whole thing that we're doing is that we have opinions, right? And we say those opinions, but it's just like I'm always kind of open to changing opinions about things like, you know, politics or what, you know, it's just
Yeah.
interesting because it's like, and I think that's where kind of like healthy discourse comes in. You know, it's kind of cool. Just not trying to like convince everyone you're right. Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think
nice.
it's definitely healthy.
It's nice, but it's funny because there are people, and I think we've all run into these people that take this like horoscope thing super seriously,
yeah.
right? It's just like
Every day they have to read.
it's their Bible.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, you know, we talk about whether you believe in the Bible or not. It's like they talk about how for some people who are Christians and, you know, just become not Christians or whatever, something replaces it. Like, it's like people have that desire to like have something guide them. right?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so like, have you experienced that, Justin? I mean, it's taking a step back. Have you had other things like kind of like feel like they guide you?
For sure. Yeah. I think part of the reason I think people like horoscopes is because it's something that they can read, and it's ultimately something that gives them hope. Because like, I don't know, I don't read a ton of horoscopes, but I doubt you get a bunch that are just like, today will be a day of impending doom and like everything will not work out for you. It's like, it's almost like, Chinese, what are they called? The little things you break open, you got the little thing inside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the fortune cookies.
Fortune cookies. Yeah, like the Chinese fortunes. Like
I'm thinking Chinese New Year, finger trap. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Where are you
I
going?
was thinking a lot of
just
things.
like,
What else have I heard that has Chinese in front of it?
but I think people like these things, or people latch on them because it's just like it's like hopeful. It's like this is gonna work out. It's like be excited about today type of stuff, where most people wake up and they go straight to their cell phones, and then they get into this hamster wheel of comparison and kind of insecurity going through social media or whatever. So I think I personally, I just think that's why people kind of latch on to these things.
Yeah, and it's what's funny is it's kind of like one of those things where it's like people try to use science and create this like fake science around it. So there's no doubt that gravity changes, based on the phase of the moon or whatever. I mean, there's different things that have an effect, and you're born at a certain time, and sure, whatever, right? But it varies by year. It's not going to have the same effect on everyone the same way because everyone's physiologically varied. So, I mean, it's just you're applying these things. This is more spiritual than science. And they try to like put this science on it like it's gravity. It's just the way, the planets are affecting, it's just like, oh my gosh. It's just outrageous. It's just another religion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's another one of those things that allows people to like provide cover for their lack of maturity or like their irresponsibility. It's just like, oh, I'm a Libra, so I don't have to do this, or that's not who I am, kind of a thing. Where I think all of that's nonsense. And I think we should be changing as we age and mature.
But it's funny because if you're going to argue for spiritual freedoms, or religious freedoms, right? Then it's almost like you could not agree with it, but it's almost like you have to respect that person's decision.
Totally.
Because how many times do Christians say, well, I'm not doing that because it's against my convictions, right? So as absurd as it is, like something like this, like that really does not have, I mean, it falls apart when you try to like, go and prove any of this stuff.
Well, it's tough because like think about it in the sense of like everyone wants to be super tolerant, like you said, kind of like everyone has their own right to their opinions and their beliefs and views. But then we also see this, I mean, this even happens like politically for sure. It's like everyone's always preaching like tolerance, and then once like you get into power, it's just like no more tolerance. You must see it our way. And it's like I feel like it's because I just when I think of the spiritual journey, it's like for me, I don't know. I guess some people are wired differently. Like I prefer to just go on that journey just as an individual. And I obviously think it's valuable to be around like communities of people that believe like you, but I think there's a fine line of just like getting plugged into a community and kind of becoming a believer or a member kind of based on the emotions of feeling like belonging rather than like, have I really like, or is this even important enough to me to really work this out for myself internally?
Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah. And that's funny you mentioned that thing is like theoretic versus reality, like tolerance. And when the rubber actually meets the road, it means something different. It's like when people are, this whole crypto crash, everyone always talks about, oh, I wish I would have bought in when it was super low. And now everyone's freaking out. Right.
Well, now it's like, super low. And I'm like, should we buy? But then I'm just like, no.
Well, for everyone else who's lost their shirt.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm not putting any more money in it. You know what I mean? Just like, but it's at the same time, I'm just like, oh yeah, but if you did and it goes back up, it's just funny. But it kind of goes into this whole thing where, and for some reason and we briefly touched on this in other podcasts, but it's really popular in church circles to like classify people, so, and it kind of starts, a lot of it is like, you'll go into a church and you'll be like, all right, well, I don't know where to serve. So they have a class to like find what your strengths are, you know, where they feel like you could probably serve and things like that. And I think that's valuable. But it's funny because then we get into all these like personality tests and stuff too. So we did take a couple of these personality tests, at least I think most of us did, just to share our results. And that way our viewers and listeners can learn a little bit more about us, which is cool, right? One of these, okay, so there's 2 tests that we took, and one of them is the Enneagram, and the other one is the Myers Briggs personality test. So we could start with, we could start with the Enneagram. I am an Enneagram 5. So
The investigator.
Correct. So, type 5 in brief, the basics, basic fear, being useless, helpless, or incapable. Basic desire, to be capable and competent. Enneagram 5 with a 4 wing, the iconoclast, the 6 wing, the problem solver. So, there's like different variations of whatever, because it's like, you know, any category you can further break down depending on how you answer the questions. But, yeah, it's interesting.
Did it make sense at all to you?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it's exactly me. I mean, so like basically here,
But I
let's
guess
see in summary.
could either of you guys relate to that too? Like, because that's what people say about these things, right? It's like they can relate to anyone.
Well, yeah, like certain things about each one.
Yeah, so I'll read the first paragraph of mine. So we
You had
have
more than one paragraph for yours?
Yeah, what are you looking at?
yeah, this is EnneagramInstitute.com. So if you're not there, go to the EnneagramInstitute.com and look up, just Google EnneagramInstitute.com, you know, number whatever you are. And then you'll get, because the top 5 overview, I'm reading the first paragraph. We have named personality type 5 the investigator because more than any other type, 5s want to find out why things are the way they are. They want to understand how the world works, whether it is the cosmos, the microscopic world, the animal, vegetable, or mineral kingdoms, or the inner world of their imaginations. They're always searching, asking questions, and delving into things in depth. They do not accept perceived opinions and doctrines, feeling a strong need to test the truth of most assumptions for themselves. So
That's pretty accurate.
that is pretty accurate.
I was about to say, because that's not accurate for me. I do wonder how the world works and stuff, but not as much as you do. Like,
Well, yeah,
because you get into it, like research it. I don't do that.
I watch how Cheetos are made while I'm eating them.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's levels.
So,
Yes.
I don't know.
It goes pretty in depth. So that it nailed it for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, someone else want to read theirs?
So which one did you leave read the down here somewhere?
I just did the top 5 overview. Yeah. So if you go down, it says
okay.
overview.
Whoa. Okay. And you just read like one of those paragraphs.
Yeah, I just read the first one basically. I think.
Wait, what number are you?
I'm type 4.
Me too.
Hey, that's why we get along.
Let's
so well.
go. It
Look
makes
at
so
y'all.
much more
Look
sense.
at y'all.
And I was a 7 when I took this a couple years ago, which is a whole nother thing we could dive into.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
So we're gonna have the same things, same stuffs.
Chair.
Should you guys alternate sentences?
So this is for Gabby and Justin. Yeah. Like in reading class.
popcorn reading?
Yeah.
That was literally our Brightview call this morning. Just popping back and forth.
We
between
literally
different-
were. What?
Yeah.
Dude, we were locked in.
Locked in.
I was like, I wonder if they realize how locked in we are. Because like I would end my property, and he would move on to his.
I would
As soon
have
as he
said
was
we're
done,
so
I'd move
locked
on to
in.
mine.
It's pretty glorious.
I think it went unsaid.
You 4s. Look at you.
The 4 is
So 4
what
of
is it?
you.
The individualist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the individualist. I'll read this little paragraph if you want to read one of the other ones.
Wow.
So 4s are self-aware, sensitive, and reserved. They are emotionally honest, creative, and personal, but can also be moody and self-conscious. Without withholding themselves from others due to feeling vulnerable and defective, they can also feel disdainful and exempt from ordinary ways of living. They typically have problems with melancholy, self-indulgence, and self-pity.
Wow. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel like I'm very self-aware. I'm also very reserved for the most part. I'm
See,
pretty
not
sensitive.
reserved.
Pretty sensitive. I don't
wouldn't say
let
I'm
it be known that
reserved.
I'm sensitive. but I'm
Well,
pretty
I
sensitive.
mean, I would say that you're not gonna like not everything is gonna apply to you.
Yeah.
It's just that, like the majority
generic.
of things kind of
I
fall
mean,
in
you
that
are
bucket.
kind of reserved though. You like your space. You like.
Well,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, so the way you're reserved,
Like you're social.
maybe not. You're social, yeah, but you won't go deep with someone unless you know
Right.
them, unless
That's
you're
fair.
very
Yeah.
comfortable with them.
I think it fits.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
No, trust me. I know. Like, yeah.
First time I met
get it.
Justin, we had a 2-hour theological conversation.
Not in the,
dive
I
into
feel
the
like
deep
not in
stuff
that
right off the
terms, but
rip.
I'm saying I feel like
But not everyone's like you, Luke. Everyone feels like they could just spill the beans when they first meet you. That's different.
but that's like something Justin's passionate about. Because when he's like passionate about something, he can go. He can talk.
fair.
You gotta be like, bro, I gotta go. I gotta get some stuff done.
I'm talking things about his personal life,
Yeah.
things about the way he feels, his
Right.
views.
A little reserved.
Yeah, it was very reserved for a long time. I mean, you're more open about it now, but
Yeah.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I found it just interesting doing some of these personality tests because I personally I guess just my own personal experience doing a lot of these over the years. None of them really helped me do anything. If anything, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense, and then it usually just ends there.
it's all just self-awareness.
So I don't. Yeah. So I guess.
Well, if there's something in there where you're like, dang, yeah, I guess I am kind of like that. That's not that great. Like maybe that's
Right.
just
Well, that's why you got to retake them because they're change.
Well, right,
Right.
and that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
you
interesting
can
that-
change for sure.
Well, yeah. So people can change A, and then B. There's also an element of, like, it's funny because I found myself just naturally going through the motions doing these tests, and it's like if I'm not like trying to actually pay attention and really think about it, it's like I know what answer I should give, versus like actually sitting and thinking.
I always think
and
like
being
that
like,
too. What am I really
oh, well,
like?
who am I actually?
Right.
Did you
even
read
if-
this first paragraph? I feel like it's pretty on point. You should scroll down and read that.
The more
first
I'm
paragraph.
reading about mine, I'm like, oh, I hate this. Like, I'm just like,
So my question about Enneagram, because I think there's a lot of like correct stuff that comes from it, but so is it saying that there's only 9 personalities,
well,
or
no,
these 9 categories cover?
99% of
Right.
the pool. Yeah. I think that's what it's saying. Because
wonder
it's
what-
not because you could have a mix of different numbers.
Right,
It's
of
just
course.
giving you what your highest one was.
Okay, so everyone in a sense is a mix of something, but
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you're testing is just
the
what's
more
the
you
most
Like a pie
prevalent. Right.
More
Back-to-back
spot on
pods
the
with a
gift.
pie
I'm just
chart.
saying it's like a pie chart.
Right. That's why they give you the wings.
Yeah.
Pretty,
Like you wing
I
that
mean,
wing.
Pretty solid.
I love that me and Justin are both type 4. It just all
great.
The puzzle, the
hilarious.
puzzles are piecing.
I did test. I tested a type 4 before, and then Christina had me take a different test, and it was type 5.
Oh, there's
A more
also
in-depth,
levels.
More in-depth test.
What type are you?
I'm a 7.
Read it, Luke.
Okay. What am I reading? The overview?
Yeah, overview.
We have named this personality type the enthusiast
Wow.
because 7s are
enough said.
enthusiastic about almost everything that catches their attention. Dude.
Pickleball.
Bro, pickle. all
Let
right.
him finish. Let
No,
him
it doesn't
finish.
even have to be something
Don't
that
let me
crazy.
talk about pickleball. They approach life
You
with
derail.
curiosity, optimism, and a sense of adventure like, and I quote, kids in a candy store
Oh my god.
who look at the world in wide-eyed, rapt anticipation of all the good things they're about to experience.
That's scary accurate.
Just like copy and paste
He's
it to
about
his
to put
bio.
this in his. I was about to say the Enneagram number's about to go in his bio.
I know. We need the kid in the candy store quote from now on.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the last sentence, they're bold and vivacious, pursuing what they want in life with a cheerful determination.
Dude, cheerful. I mean, yeah. If I had to explain Luke to anyone, just be like, he's the happiest guy I've ever met.
I feel good about that. I'm all right with that.
I'm gonna say vivacious. I love that word.
Yeah, I need to know what that
He's
means.
like annoyingly happy sometimes.
Attractively lively and animated.
It's vivacious, right?
Wow, I love that. Oh, vivacious? Okay.
I like vivacious.
Sydney tells me
Vivacious.
sometimes that it's annoying that I'm happy. Like,
Dude,
she's like,
I feel.
can you just have a bad day?
I feel that. It's just like, dang, Doyle's just.
That's
Company-
a
yeah,
natural.
misery loves company. Is
That's
that
a
the same?
natural human instinct, though. It's right. You just hate it when people are having a good time and you're not.
Right.
I'm like, my bad.
But it's also like if I'm ever like just annoyed by something super small or just like in this weird mood, and Doyle's just like, Lambright? Damn it, Doyle.
But it picks your mood up. I mean,
does.
I'm
You
so
do.
happy Luke's in this office because It definitely teaches me to be a more optimistic person.
Wow, I can't believe how spot on that was for you.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
That was insane. That was
Apparently,
so
if
good.
you scroll down, there are healthy levels to unhealthy levels of how much of a 7 I could be or how much of a 4 you are.
That's crazy too, because it was only a 20 question test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it tells you you're like, if you're at a healthy place, this is what you're like. If you're,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. It's important to know, like, especially I'm thinking in marriage. That's what I'm thinking. It's good to know what.
Like your partner, as you're saying?
Yeah.
It's good to know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like,
I still, and I get it. I still just,
It's just like Sydney would
think
go
just
in there
something-
looking for dirt and she can't find any in a 7. It's like,
no, there's obviously some.
yeah. No, I'm
just feel like-
there's negatives to, there's
Yeah.
extremes to everything. So.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I guess it's interesting to me, 'cause especially in the context of like, and now I'm obviously not married, but like in relationships, it's like I feel like it's something that we love to do, where it's just like, oh, I need like to do this test, or my wife to do this test, so that like I know how she's wired, so I can like better interact with her, or better serve or love her, like the love
You know what
languages
that
test.
means is like a better
And I'm just
manipulate
like-
her is what a lot of people do.
Well, I guess all I'm saying is like, what you're really saying is you need to just get really good at just communicating openly and honestly. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to take a test to be like, oh, she's like this. It's like, well, yeah, it's like, that's why when we get these results, we're like, oh yeah,
So-
that makes sense.
So here's the question: Is there value in these tests? What's the point? And is it valuable, like, because this has been a big thing in church as of, in the last 5 years, 10 years? Is there any benefit to people, serving, I guess, whatever in the church or whatever, and taking these kind of tests?
Well, there's the whole question too of like, so say you take these tests and you get your strengths, and then we say, hey, you're gifted for this, so we're going to make you a greeter, or you're gifted for this, so we're going to have you help with kids or whatever. So there's a whole element of like, do we just avoid? So I guess it's more so, do we just focus on strengths and just let people kind of hang out in their strengths, or do we like challenge people to look at maybe their areas of weakness and challenge them to like if someone's struggling with, like really just being out, kind of just friendly, or I guess we wouldn't ever really do this.
But you know what's funny?
But it's like putting people in situations where it kind of like forces a little growth, and it's maybe not super comfortable. So I guess are we just wanting to keep people comfortable in their strengths?
Honestly, I think it's so that people who are in charge of like these type of volunteers that come in or something like that, or it could be anything. It could be a boss like hires an employee, makes them take this test. It could be like, what kind of person is this? I think that's valuable because not only are you kind of like then know what to look out for, when they're like having a bad day or something.
Yeah.
You also know how to approach them most effectively, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because these tests are like just kind of, as we've said, the likelihood is they're going to be accurate.
It's at least, if anything, a base level.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
And
devil's
it's just like
avocados.
it's basically like
Right.
that can almost replace like 5 years of getting to know that person and
Right.
understanding their quirks. Let me just like read their result and at least kind of know where to start.
Well, because I was thinking when I was
sure.
taking that, I was like, I could answer every single one of these questions for you guys too. Like I probably know what I would answer for you guys.
Right,
also.
that's
You know that you
hilarious.
say that? I would say a good boss and a good leader could do that for everyone on their team too.
I was gonna say the same
That's
thing.
true, yeah.
To me, it's almost like in that sense, it's not like a shortcut, but in the reality of like, say it's a boss and they have a new employee come and do it. Like, maybe it's just because I'm this way and I'm super cynical and I just question everything. But it's like, okay, so did this employee answer it like genuinely, like honestly about where
Or
he
was he
really
trying
is,
to get out,
or is he like
look
given
good?
the
Yeah.
answers that
Sure,
he wants? Because obviously in this scenario,
He'll
you
figure
want
it
your
out.
employer to think the highest
Yeah.
of you.
But at the same time,
that's
your
why-
employer's going to figure out if that
Right.
was.
Well, that was what I was gonna say. Like to your point,
So
because
most
of the
people
time
answer
we've
these
spent.
honestly. I feel like.
Yeah, and well, I think what you said, because
hope
of the
so.
time we've spent together, like you could probably answer it for us. Where I think about it the same way.
It's one of those things where it's
if
just
a
like
boss.
it's like you think deadlines are important. Absolutely,
Yeah, right.
you know what I mean?
right,
Like, and you're
right.
gonna answer it like
Exactly. Like no one's gonna just be like, nah, screw a deadline, or just like, yeah, I procrastinate. Like,
But when you're taking it for fun,
Yeah,
you'll do
right,
that.
right,
You'll
right.
get a
But
more honest answer.
that's why I think these things can be dangerous, because for the people you're thinking about, if you just do this and camp out here forever, I think it's lazy, right? Like, I don't think it's effective. I think this is good information to know to start. And then you continue. Like,
That's a good point.
like for
I agree
Sydney,
with that.
like before we got engaged or before we both did the little love language thing. I couldn't have told you what my love languages are. I've never thought like that before. So yeah, I do believe that it's helpful because then it's like, oh yeah, I do appreciate when you do acts of service.
We did the
for
same
me.
thing.
And
What are your
you
love
know, like,
languages? Why don't we go around the room and discuss our love languages? What are yours, Luke?
trying to remember.
Yeah, I know Rachel's. I don't
What are
remember
the five?
mine.
Acts of
There's
service.
like acts of service, physical touch,
Words of affirmation,
yeah.
gift giving,
gift giving,
That's my number
quality
one.
time.
Yeah, and quality time.
quality time. I think mine is quality time.
I think my biggest was words of affirmation.
Mine.
Like if Sydney looks at me and says, "You know what? You rocked.
You
the
look hot
husband
AF
game
today,
Not even like
babe.
how I look, but just like how well I'm doing as her husband. That makes me want to freaking.
The problem is when you
Punch a
when
wall
you when
down.
you go around all happy all the time, she probably doesn't feel like you need those words.
Which is a good point as to why she should know.
Right.
So you just gotta
I
let
need
it
that.
pop off every now and then.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
know.
you know what? Today was such crap.
Yeah,
He's like saying something totally out of character.
Like, what's happening? But yeah, that's why it's important to know
I
because
just need you to tell me I'm a good husband.
I also have a hot take on the love
Language.
test. Personally, because when I took it, I remember taking this in college in like a psychology class, and like we just like raised our hands forever, had this as a top, whatever. And I noticed it was like there was a lot of words of affirmation were up there, quality time was up there, which is most popular. I scored highest in gift giving.
So did I.
And gift giving, quality time, and to me it makes a lot of sense because like
receiving or giving.
either.
But is this your love language?
Like your love language. If your love
someone
language,
gets me
Receiving,
something,
it
for
would be
sure.
receiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I like gifts.
But I think it's very practical to me because in my mind, but I guess to my deeper point is part of me really thinks that the love language test more or less identifies, because I think in all people receive love in all five of those ways.
Oh,
If you do
100%.
something nice
Oh,
for
for sure,
someone,
for sure.
100%.
if you compliment them or spend time with them.
Agreed.
I would argue that I think we score highest in the areas where we've kind of been neglected or we haven't necessarily gotten a lot of that. And I can only speak for myself because like growing up, I did have a lot of quality time, obviously, with parents and loved ones, but like we just didn't, like outside of Christmas or birthdays and like maybe Easter, like we never got any gifts. And it's not because my parents weren't generous. It was just literally like they were trying to raise a family of 5 on like a church planner's budget.
Right.
And
That's an
like
interesting.
all things
way to look
considered,
at
they
that.
did pretty amazing. But I think like when someone like gets something for me, it means a lot because
Yeah.
in my mind, like talk is cheap. I don't have to really mean anything I can say it without really meaning it. And I guess that can kind of get one of the manipulation. But like when you give me your time, like you'll never, even money, you can get more money, but you can't ever get time back.
That's an interesting. So when I started doing this, I learned that like let's say me and Sydney both scored high in quality time, and then you just think default, sweet. Well, we're gonna gel perfect.
I don't
'cause-
ever have to buy her a gift. We're
or
good.
something like
Yeah.
that, or like.
Yeah.
But what you learn is as you keep diving into that, what she thinks is quality time could be totally different than what I think is quality time.
Sure.
And then it's like, so it just shows how this is a basic level because if she's
because
like,
it gives you guys that conversation starter, and
Like,
you're like,
what does it look
What does
like?
that mean to you? Yeah.
because if we're driving somewhere for dinner, and I'm like, this is great quality time, and then
Her quality time is like, I want to go and like for a walk or like go on
2
like,
weeks go by, she's like, we haven't even hung out, and I'm like, what do you mean? We have 6 times, and then it's like, where are we missing it? So it's like,
Yeah, that's the other thing. What do they count as quality time?
right,
Yeah.
Because there's some, spouses, I don't want to be sexist here. There's some spouses that will be like, all right, it only counts if we get the kids or babysitter watching
Right.
the kids and we go on a date. That's quality time.
Sure.
Not when we spend every night in bed together.
I'm gonna take a
watching
shot in the
Netflix.
dark that
Right.
that's the opinion of most wives.
I know, but not mine. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I think
honestly,
that's
quality
Christina,
time. Not most
Christina,
wives,
Christina will be like,
more or less
let's just watch Netflix, and that's our quality time. And,
Yeah.
if we miss several nights where I'm like practicing or I'm doing something around the house and we miss several of those days in a row, we kind of feel it.
Yeah,
we don't
you
have
feel
it.
it.
Yeah,
all
there's
the time.
I just want to chill with you tonight. Just like,
Yeah.
There's also,
nothing.
I think like we live in this weird world now where we're just trying to make like gender like very fluid, and it's like everything's the same, and it's like I understand that it's not healthy to ever just turn something into like black and white or whatever, but I think it is reasonable to look at things and find like generalities. Like there's a reason that generally most women tend to be a little more nurturing and caring and stuff like that, and men tend to be a little bit more like goal oriented. Women tend to be a little more like people oriented kind of a thing. And so it's like it's the whole reason why like we have sayings like, you know, Saturdays are for the boys. It's like we don't really have this thing where the girls are like, it's for my ladies and we're gonna just do girl things. It's like, yeah, they do that, but it's like I feel like it's a little more prevalent or just natural for men to kind of just want a little like element of independence. And it doesn't have to be men, but usually there's my experience. I do much better in relationships when I feel like I have like an element of independence where
Sure.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're independent, like, so that's another thing, because it's like studies have come out now where it's just like it's just important for you to love yourself as it is for you to love other people. And
Sure.
it's like you don't have a capacity to love other people unless you love yourself.
Right. It's also biblical.
Yeah. So how many of those love languages, you know, it's like I buy myself things. I spend time with myself,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
you know.
And then balancing that in your marriage.
Starting to go down the list and it got kind of dirty. So I touched myself. You know. All right. Keep
little
it clean.
too much,
Keep
yeah.
it clean. All right. Sorry to
That'll be on the reels.
it will be. Sorry to keep like
I perform
stop talking,
my own
JJ.
love languages on myself.
Stop talking. I'm about to say something else.
acts
Anyway.
of service.
You were what, so
service
what
myself.
what love language? Yeah.
All right.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Where
You
did
it.
where
I
did
mean,
we get off? All right.
I mean,
Giggity.
you know, the location. Just
Okay.
kidding.
So mine is receiving gifts. I like gifts. Anyway,
That
did we
is
go over
that
yours?
is yours. Yeah, mine's.
You're also a
mine's
gift
quality
giver.
Time.
I do give. I like
Yeah.
giving gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes sense if
Notice
that's
that
yours.
about-
Well, it's
Yeah.
because like a lot of times the one that you are most like, the one that you like the most is the one that you tend to give the most, even if that's
Mm-hmm.
not the one that everyone else wants. You know, it's just
Right,
like that's
right.
just like,
Yeah.
hey, I know you'd want this because I would.
Right.
Exactly.
I feel like that's probably my top like love languages I give to people. Is that's the gift giving is probably my top one.
Nice.
I could see that.
Justin, what was yours?
Well, the last time I took it was gift giving and quality time. I don't really know what it would be now.
What do you think like
Because I'm kind of in a
your
place where I
feeling
can buy
towards
myself
other
nice
people? What do you
things.
think you give out more?
Like, okay, so this would probably even be deeper in terms of if I'm like genuinely like wanting to like love on someone. It would probably be acts of service or gift giving.
Yeah.
Probably. Because even now for myself with quality time, I think about it, it's like I really like my just me time. So it's like for my birthday, it's like, you know, you have certain people that are just like, we need to like go out and celebrate my birthday, and then like 3 days in a row kind of a thing. I guess it's kind of prevalent in today's culture.
Yeah, I'm
Where
like,
you just have,
leave me
birthday
alone with
months.
my Xbox.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm just like on my birthday, the best gift you could give me, just seriously leave me alone and just give me 24 hours of absolute peace.
Sure.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, even when I think about what's loving, yeah, but I'm also, you know, I guess
Yeah, no, that's cool.
wide my own way.
Yeah, I mean, Christina's is acts of service too, and I feel like I do a lot just around the house. Like I would do it anyway, but like she perceives it as, you know, acts of service a lot of times. So
That's
Dude, that
something
goes a
I've
long
had to
way.
be better. at.
cool.
Acts of service.
That's something I should say that since I've been married, I've gotten way better at.
I think
Yeah, how many
understood the
nights a week you
impact
cooking
of-
dinner, brother?
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
how much. And then I realized, because marriage just has changed me, obviously, but it's like, I realize even if it's slightly inconvenient, the reward of her being like relieved of a responsibility is so worth me being slightly inconvenienced.
well, it's worth it for you too, because she's not stressed out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right,
Like
okay.
it's like, okay, this is slightly annoying, but I'll do it because I know both of our lives will be better. Right. So let's, you know, like that's
And
That's real.
When we first got married, I was not.
I fought that up for a
The
while.
acts of service thing was not intuitive. It wasn't natural.
And
Because
then-
at that point, you're
100%.
just used to doing everything for yourself.
Exactly. And then you
Yeah.
have to learn. I had to go through, okay, I just tried to do an act of service, but I didn't do it correctly.
Oh, gosh.
Then it's like, okay, well, I'm sorry.
One of the biggest things for us,
Let me learn how to do that in a way that helps.
one of the biggest things for us was, for some reason, it would be taking out the trash. I'd always take out the trash in the kitchen when it was full.
Yeah.
I felt like, man, I'm such a good guy for doing this.
Yeah.
I get back in the house, and 10 minutes goes by. You didn't replace the liner in a trash can. It's like, I'm like, so next time I'm not even gonna take the trash out.
Yeah,
It's just like,
That's your default.
yeah, no, I that was my position for a long time, and
100%.
now I just put a liner in.
Yeah.
It's just
That is a perfect example.
you didn't finish the act of service, like,
Right.
and it's just like, okay, well, I didn't have to do this, like,
And then all that goes in. You're like, okay,
yeah,
what's really important here,
Right,
Luke? Let's
right.
put the freaking trash bag in the bag.
Hey, so what about the personality test thing we did?
ready to go there.
Ooh,
Ready to go there.
nice segue. Well done.
It was good.
Thanks.
You should be the host.
What's yours?
You want to
Gab?
trade seats, or
Gladly.
I'm an advocate. INFJ,
Wait. Justin, are you the same?
dude.
The most recent one we did,
This is the Myers
yeah.
Briggs.
If you are,
16
I'm about to
personalities.
go run a mile.
mediator.
Ooh.
Wait,
but
what
we're
are
only
you?
off by one letter. We're both
Nuts.
INF. You're just
INFP.
P. I'm a J. J for Justin, obviously.
I'm INTJ.
Cha.
I'm none of those.
I am
Okay.
INTJA/INTJT.
Oh, so we're only off one letter too. Just the third.
For some reason, I thought Justin and I would
You're
be
an
similar.
E. You're an E. I feel like.
I am an E.
Yeah.
Is that extrovert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I'm
is it? An
definitely
ENT? You're an ENTJ?
No, I'm an ENFPA
ENFPA?
and ENFPT.
Yeah.
There you go.
A and T. I don't know.
I'm
I
also
pressed what's the
I'm also
difference. I
A
just
and
didn't read
T.
it.
What does that mean, though?
I
What are
don't-
those letters?
I
A
don't
is
know what the
assertive.
last ones are.
Well, for mine at least, A is assertive. T is turbulent.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, Gabby, go ahead.
Right.
What's
I am
yours?
assertive and turbulent as well.
So an advocate, INFJ, is someone with the introverted, intuitive, feeling, and judging personality traits. They tend to approach life with deep thoughtfulness and imagination. Their inner vision, personal values, and a quiet, principled version of humanism guide them in all things. Says advocates may be the rarest personality type of all, but they certainly leave their mark on the world. Idealistic and principled. They aren't content to coast through life. They want to stand up and make a difference. Success doesn't come from money or status, but from seeking fulfillment, helping others, and being a force for good in the world.
I could see that.
That's just a couple.
So
That's
basically-
fantastic.
I was so I was 50 on the. I would have been INFJ, except I was literally 51% prospecting, 49% judging.
Yeah, I'm a little more judging.
Yeah, I'm 1% different in one of them.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
What's the difference between assertive and turbulent?
It's a great question.
I don't know.
Turbulent is like flies off the handle. Assertive is like direct, I think. I don't know. I believe. Mine. So this is the top of mine. Says INTJ. It can be lonely at the top.
Wow, that's the last thing you needed.
That's the first sentence.
As one of the rarest personality types and one of the most capable, architects know this all too well. Rational and quick-witted architects pride themselves on their ability to think for themselves, not to mention their uncanny knack for seeing right through phoniness and hypocrisy. But because their minds are never at rest, architects may struggle to find people who can keep up with their nonstop analysis of everything around them.
It's so true.
So, yeah, well,
It's accurate.
All the nonsense.
guess who else was an architect?
Who?
Well, I'll read a few.
Oh wait, where'd you see
Friedrich
that stuff at?
Nietzsche, Michelle Obama.
Wow.
There you go.
But these are the best two. Elon Musk and Christopher Nolan.
That's cool.
Christopher Nolan.
You needed the.
Come on.
Did you just Google that separately?
Johnny Depp is the same as me. Let's go.
Dude, come on.
That makes me. And Frodo Baggins.
Frodo.
It literally says Frodo Baggins, Lord of the Rings.
That is so interesting.
Mediators you might know.
So,
Arwen also from Lord of the Rings.
Okay,
So,
Gandhi.
a
I'm just
fiction-
gonna Throw that out there.
Sybil.
Mic
Okay.
drop.
I'm starting to feel a little less now.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Okay.
Boss.
Oh my gosh.
William
Jimmy Carter.
Shakespeare is the same as me as
Okay,
well.
wait. I want to know who are mine. Did
So-
you just Google it?
So
Should be
where
in the bottom of that.
Yeah.
thing.
So what did you?
Oh, I see. Robert Downey Jr.
Tom
All right.
Hiddleston.
Let's go.
All
They
right.
say that 2% of the population is INFJs, guys. So you
I
got
don't.
do you
Where are
see
you
that?
finding all this?
Googs.
All right.
Googs.
Here, let me see.
Just the Googs machine.
You googly.
I'm gonna. Where did you get all the like? Because I saw it before. Like, where did you get all of the percentages and stuff? Because I think that's
On the right
interesting.
side of the just when they show you your results on that 16 personalities, on the right side it has your percentages.
Yeah, but how
And
do you
it
know
also-
you're 2%?
Oh, that was the Googs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm right on the line of intuitive and observant. 51-49.
Introverted 55%, intuitive 70%, thinking 62%, judging 72%,
Mother Teresa.
turbulent 51%.
INFJ.
Interesting.
Wow. Me and Mother Teresa probably do have a lot in common.
Mother Teresa and Gandhi?
That's humble.
Yeah, dude. Martin Luther King Jr.
Gabby, you're a legend.
Just list me with them.
And then Gabby Lambright.
All right, I've got Elon.
That's the Mount Rushmore.
I've got,
That makes sense
I've
that
got
you got
Elon, and Christopher Nolan. I'm happy with that. Christopher Nolan makes some banger movies.
Makes sense.
That was the Dark Knight.
And
Trilogy, right?
Interstellar, Inception.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
That's solid.
one of mine is Michael Scott from The Office.
That
how
makes
does-
so much sense.
So these fictional characters are taking these tests.
Spider-Man
Is it
and
like-
Phil Dunphy.
Dude, Phil Dunphy
Dunphy.
makes so much sense.
Yeah, Phil Dunphy.
I strive to be a dad like Phil Dunphy.
Oh my gosh. I can see Luke walking into the room and saying everything Phil's ever said.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Wow.
And
That's
then,
too perfect.
And then Sydney just looks at the camera.
Could someone help me? She looks like
Someone help
I
me.
have to live with this.
And then you remember, you remember the one where
I've
like,
seen everyone.
oh, the one about the wedge salad? Yeah. And she flips.
100%. I feel like that's going to be our
That's
dynamic.
your life.
For sure. Yeah. I'm so hype about it.
I cannot believe you, Phil.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Anyway, so much fun.
I'm a campaigner.
What is that?
What was that?
I'm glad you
what your
asked.
thing is? Like, if,
Yeah, that's what it's called. Campaigner personality. Campaigners are, it's an ENFP. Campaigners are true free spirits, outgoing, open-hearted, and open-minded. With their lively, upbeat approach to life, they stand out in any crowd. But even though they can be the life of the party, campaigners don't just care about having a good time. These personality types run deep, as does their longing for meaningful, emotional connections with other people.
I see that. I see all those things.
I'm into that.
This is a more accurate representation of me than the Enneagram is. Architects question everything. Many personality types trust the status quo, relying on conventional wisdom and other people's expertise to guide their lives. But ever skeptical architects prefer to make their own discoveries in their quest to find better ways of doing things. They aren't afraid to break the rules or risk disapproval. In fact, they rather enjoy it. It's interesting. You ever do those things where you walk into a room and you kind of anticipate a confrontational situation and you run through the entire thing in your head
And none of those
and
things
nothing
happen.
ever happens?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every
Dude,
day
I
of my life.
frequently do that.
Every day.
And I'm just like, half the time, it's just one of those things where like, he's going to say this and I'm going to say this and I'm just going to stick it to
and
him.
it
I'm going to
never
love it.
happens.
I know.
Everything's always okay.
I know.
I do that all the time.
At some point, yeah, it's just, it's crazy. No, I mean, some of
That's
this
why
is really,
I saw somebody say the other day, like, because so many people do that, like, just start thinking of all the possible worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
And they say, like, as soon as you like just find yourself thinking that way, just to be like, all right, I'm going to count down from 5 and I'm going to say, everything is fine. Everything's going to be okay. And
Yeah.
apparently, I mean, I've done it a few times. Honestly, I'm just like, none of those things are about to happen. You're fine. You're freaking out.
no, that's good. I mean, I think we all could do that more.
Yeah.
Because I've told myself that before, but I need to like remember that that's something I can do because I like, what is it? Like 99% of the things that you worry about don't ever happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would rather be unprepared for the 1% than worry about all this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and when you're unprepared, I feel like you act better than you would have if you would have been prepared.
Probably, yeah. It is crazy. Oh boy, yeah.
73% extroverted. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close to what?
I don't even
Introverted.
introverted. I was 61% introverted.
Yeah, I was 55.
I'm surprised it's not more. I can be extroverted when I need to be, but I don't ever want to.
Well, that's because they give you all those like the dots that like it's just like, all right, this is like, you're so much on this side or that side. It allows for nuance in your answers. It's not just yes or no.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
because a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, strong belief in like this specific situation, but then like with this one, I'm a little more neutral, but still kind of on that side. So yeah, it is interesting.
What's prospecting?
Prospecting, is that one of the things?
Yeah, it's
What's
the
your
opposite of judging.
Insight of the day. Scroll down. No, go back up.
Where
Right
are you
there to the
finding
right.
all this? Like, I don't.
I got prospecting, but it's only
There's your insight of the
51%.
day.
Campaigners are the most likely personality type to be interested in exotic countries.
Insight. Where are
Wait,
you
say that
getting
again?
the insight of the day.
My personality type is most likely to be interested in exotic countries.
Is that profile page? Or
Yeah,
where?
mine is
Introduction
mediators are the most likely to see beauty in imperfection.
Mine
That's
says
beautiful.
advocates are the most likely personality type to believe that modern human beauty standards are unrealistic,
Interesting.
Nice.
which I feel like is very similar to what yours is. We're locked in, Just. I'm just going to say
Yeah,
that.
I love it.
I am interested in exotic countries.
Well, you've been to.
What kind?
I've been to lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What do you, when you think exotic, where does your mind go initially?
Probably not exotic. Probably just foreign.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
just another
Other
country,
countries.
period.
Yeah. What is exotic?
Oh, this scrolls over.
I mean,
a
I
month
would
in
think, like,
Thailand. I don't know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
that
Colin
would be
Powell.
intense.
where is that on the 16
what I would love to
personalities
do.
one?
I'd be down.
One of those countries where like our money is like super strong and you can like
Live for a month for like $500.
and it's like cheaper than what you'd pay for stuff here anyways.
Oh yeah, I'm just seeing all these fictional
Let's do it.
characters now.
We'll go together.
Gangster.
I
Hey, as long as they got internet, we can keep up with stuff.
Martin
Yeah.
Luther King, baby.
I'm like
Nelson Mandela. Dude, I'm just saying, my list is
Dang,
stacked.
yeah, that's a solid one.
And then we got randomly Lady Gaga, Morgan Freeman.
damn. A lot of these.
Half of mine kind of suck, low key.
I don't
Mine are-
have anyone real. I also have Willy Wonka. Give me a real person.
Kind of see it. Like,
I got Michael Schofield from Prison Break.
You're the first one that
so
you're the
sick.
first real person that's ever tested this way. It's like this was all theoretical until
Somebody
Luke.
that works at 16 personality was like, it worked. Somebody got Willy Wonka.
We've got someone.
Willy Wonka.
No, so a lot of mine, some of mine are villains.
That doesn't shock me.
So
yeah, it doesn't at all.
Walter White, Heisenberg,
Legendary
That's dope.
character.
Peter Baelish, Littlefinger.
Lord Baelish? Wait, from Game of Thrones?
Yeah,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Tywin Lannister. The
The
main dude. That's Tyrion.
I didn't mean to love it.
Tywin's
Is he the grandpa
dad.
or whatever? Oh,
Yeah,
the dad.
he was the main dude, the main Lannister. Yennefer of Vanderburg. Everyone watch The Witcher?
I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah, so am I. Gandalf the Grey, Professor Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes. You ever seen the Sherlock series?
Solid.
Katniss Everdeen. I like her too.
Legend.
Jennifer Lawrence. There we go.
I got Rose from Titanic.
And
I would totally push someone off the door.
Jay Gatsby, the Great
Oh,
Gatsby.
dang. It's a sweet list. Half of mine I don't even know.
I would do that. I'd be fine with this list.
Who's Constantine Levin? Or Lance Sweets?
Constantine? Wasn't he the
Well, he's
like
from
philosopher?
Bones, the show Bones.
Lance Sweets?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
Sybil
me
Branson from Downtown Abbey. I don't know what that is.
Scroll over. Oh, you're
Fox Mulder from X-Files. Such a soft list I got going here.
Dang.
Hold on. Constantine Levin.
Emily Polaine.
Frodo.
Johnny Depp.
Hey,
as long as I got Johnny
bro.
Depp.
Yeah.
Taking W's these days. Let's go.
You know what's funny? What actually
Taking
works there.
dumps.
It's what was it? I was listening to Rogan or something, and they were just like, I've never met anyone that can hold their alcohol like Johnny Depp, or like they could drink as much as Johnny Depp and still like maintain a normal life. I was like, okay,
Impressive.
interesting.
That's funny.
Would you say you're that way?
No. I do remember.
You can probably get loopy. But they were just saying he's like this functional alcoholic where he can just
Interesting.
do drugs, he can drink, and like you'd never know it because he acts a little weird anyway.
Yeah, he's a little peculiar.
You know? So it's like,
Yeah, I could see that.
yeah.
I remember hearing some story one time that like he was spending like $30,000 a month on wine or something like that.
Dang.
I hope I never have that kind of palate for wine. I hope I can maintain my $3
That's not good.
Aldi wine preference.
30,000.
Shout out Winking Owl. Yeah, 30 a month.
Blinking L is
Yeah. So Depp previously
Unreal.
said his personal wine bills were in excess of 30 grand a month.
I don't understand that.
I don't either. That's a baller house. Yeah.
We share we're both diplomats. Oh, weren't one of you a mediator?
Justin was.
I was a mediator. Yeah.
Yeah. Advocates, mediators, campaigners, and protagonists all share the diplomat personality types, which they all care about helping and connecting with others. They prioritize being kind and generous, and in general, they'd rather cooperate than compete.
I love that for us.
We got that empathy.
That's why we work well together.
Yeah, JJ's not on there.
JJ's our antagonist.
I'm at the top, guys. So,
It's lonely.
yeah.
It's lonely
It's
for
lonely.
JJ.
Yeah.
Us peasants can't relate.
I interact.
Rarefied
to be
air.
kind.
Did you guys
JJ
click on?
crawls out of his office.
Did you click
You
on those
guys
ones?
won.
Scroll up.
What?
Scroll.
So funny.
Yeah, scroll up on there.
But I think this is super. I think even just going through this exercise is really cool because I've taken these tests before. I've not like taken multiple like this in one day, but when you look at this, it's actually interesting because you look at the identity crisis that people have now.
Yeah.
You know, especially with like people can like all of a sudden be one person, be another person the next day, and all that. It's just like I think it's these tests are free. I think it's cool if like people take these and they just realize like, okay, this is really the kind of person I am if they can honestly answer these questions, and then like better get to know themselves and like because that could be a step to like finding identity because that's like I think a lot of people are under like identity crisis now.
Yeah.
So it's actually kind of cool to like really like okay, who am I really?
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of like starts you down that path, which is neat. So I agree.
is cool.
I agree with the whole
show.
idea with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the way that churches use it, I mean, it's interesting because it's just like, have you taken the Enneagram? Have you taken the Enneagram?
I didn't know that they did use
People
it.
do that.
Like I didn't know it was
Personality tests and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's mostly like when someone wants to volunteer, it's like, all right, well, what's your personality like? Where would you fit in?
Do you want to be the guy that goes and does outreach, or do you want to be the guy that's like never seen by people and can do things behind the scenes, or anything in between?
Or like for me, I couldn't imagine being someone at the front door greeting people.
Yeah. What's crazy is there's some people who couldn't imagine not being that person.
I mean, you're just making like, it's like a 3 or 4 word small talk to every person that comes in the door. How you doing today? Like, I really don't care. Just asking that question.
JJ would be the worst.
Oh my
door
God.
greeter
That brings me
of
back
all
to my-
time.
Literally,
That brings me back to my other question.
I would
though.
be so
People would
stoic.
turn around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and get some more sleep.
It's like, honestly, you should go home. Just go home.
Why are you
That's
here today? I mean, how are you doing today?
Yeah. What brings you in?
Oh, another person.
Yeah. Gosh, they're coming. Can you take this one? There's normally 2 greeters per door.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I know you've taken the last 10, but just a couple more, please.
I will say though, there's a lot of value in kind of forcing yourself to do the things you don't want to or like to do. Like
I've done it before,
whether it's
Justin.
an
I don't need
ego
to do it
thing.
again. I don't need to do it
No,
again.
you're right for sure. Yeah.
Because for an example for myself, I was at a place where like I was asked or had to be a part of like a choir, and like I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do less. I was just like, ew, like I do not want to do this. I got to and I literally not only do I have to do it on like Sunday mornings, but I got to go to a choir practice. Like this is like, look, I'm just like,
I gotta go practice
start
for
coming
something
up.
that I really don't want to do.
But like
awful.
on the other end though, there was like a really cool element of growth where you just like you're just killing the ego and like you know there's something that
sometimes it's like
when you
genuinely something I don't want to do, and it's not like I would do it. I just really don't want to do it. You know, but there's other things. You're right, where I've caught myself being like, well, I mean, you know, it's like I have the ability to like, you know, get by playing on stage. Like I can that's what I should be doing, if anything. Like I don't have time to be doing this, like serving with kids or being at the front door or whatever it is, or in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And granted, although that may be true, that like you should probably use your highest and best gift, their talent that you have, you know, just because they probably more need for those people. That's not the attitude you should have.
Sure.
So it's like, and I've caught myself with that before.
There also is like I think the real win, especially with like church volunteers, is like not just putting them where like need is, but like figuring out what they are passionate about and then finding something that fits that. It's just the seasons where like maybe what they're passionate about isn't like needed, where they have to do something they're not that excited about. That kind of comes with it, you know, like,
And I will say, you're right.
because if you get them to get to do what they really feel called to do, it's like everyone wins, you know.
Yeah.
But not every time.
It's easier to do it at a
that.
bigger church. So I will say that bigger churches have that advantage because
'cause
they
you have
have a
enough.
plethora of volunteers.
Right.
So
Yeah, sometimes you got to do things you don't want to do.
usually, like a small church, usually it's like, all right, we really need someone to like serve coffee.
Right.
So we need you to do that.
And I think in that example, yeah, that's a cool test of like,
Yeah, because I think it just, to me, it boils down to like really like it's easy to put people in just their areas of gifting and strength, and it makes sense. But like when I think about it, like, you know, is there benefit in really just developing like the heart of a servant across the board, you know, in a community where it's like something needs to get done and you're like, hey, we need someone to like help with this, and no one like steps up because everyone's just like, nah, I'm just gonna stick in my lane. Versus like, you know, because I've seen it done in a lot of different ways in a lot of different places, and you know, I was at a place where, I mean, that was just, they had a really big value for, it's just, hey, we just believe in the mission and what we're doing here, and if someone comes to you and asks you to do something, like there's no like if you've come here to serve and like lay your life down or be planted here, whatever you want to call it, like it's just, you know, the difference of, you know, I've been in circles where it's like, hey, we need this to get done. Does anyone want to help? And then it's just crickets.
Yeah.
Versus I've also been places where it's like, hey, we need this, this, and this. And then like, it's stuff that obviously no one wants to do, but then like 6 people raise their hands.
right.
And it's like the biggest difference that I saw was just
Developing that culture.
there's a big emphasis on, like we're not just focusing on your gift, like your gifts and your giftings or your strengths. Like it's just, you know, we're focused on developing just really the heart of a servant.
Sure.
Yeah. Because you do get caught in that. Because
That's important
just
to
serving,
remember.
like, because I've been on the worship team at different churches for so long, you do get caught in that, like, all right, this is my thing. This is what I do. This is how I serve. So
Right.
I don't need to do anything else.
Right.
To the degree that, like, and I'm not proud of this, but like, it's just like at the end of service, I know I have time. I could pray with somebody, but I've been at the point where like I'll go off stage to go like talk to someone that I see that I want to talk to. And then like someone approaches me as I'm walking across the front of the stage, like, oh, are you part of the prayer team? Oh, I'm like, no, let me find you a guy. It's like,
Right.
I could easily pray with that person.
Sure.
You know, and it's just like, but I'm just like in my mind, I have it like I did my job today.
That's
And that's obviously wrong, but it's just like you get caught in that.
Yeah.
So
it's a real thing.
despite what your personality is or what your gifts are, talents or whatever, it's just I think emphasizing the importance to be open with all that is really good to be.
Yeah.
Well, and two, like
that.
so many people view church as like the buffet, right? Where they go and they just stuff their face and then they hope it'll just like hold over for the week, and then they'll come back, and just kind of that consumer mentality where,
Yeah.
you know, in my opinion, the healthier ones are you have people who kind of get it on an individual level, and they are filling themselves throughout the week, and Sunday morning is more of a pouring out than a getting filled up thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so
No
even though
one,
you'll have
like,
great,
almost no one views it that way.
right. Well, that's, yeah, I mean, and that's tricky because it's like, that's why I personally believe that like the guest isn't really supposed to be the goal of Sunday morning, but like when people figure this thing out individually, then like when we do things corporately, like when it comes to like worship, it's like, all right, the goal and the focus is Jesus or whatever. But then on an individual level, when people are just interacting, you know, because I mean, we've probably all been to churches where it's like you do the service and then everyone just kind of dips and there's not a lot of interaction between people. It's kind of like everyone's doing their own thing and they're kind of just, you know, versus, I don't know. I just think on an individual level,
That's a tough thing for me too. And bigger churches it's tough.
Yeah.
Because you know, likely all the people that you do life with are going to be spread out between services, or they're not serving that weekend, or, and then it's like, all right, well, I guess I'm out, you know what I mean? And so it's like, there's not really a way to avoid that. Cause we talked about, you know, I don't have the capacity to do life with 100 people. So it's like, I'm not going to just invest into something that I know I'm not going to be able to commit to fully.
Right.
So it's like, I don't want to fake it, you know? So it's just,
Well, there's another aspect too, where I feel like people just kind of just give gut reactions or just like, not feeling it, like, no, whatever, where it's like, well, maybe if someone asks you to do something, the best thing is like, all right, sit with it, maybe pray on it for like a week or so, instead of just like kind of your initial emotional response to like, yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want to put another thing on my plate.
Mm-hmm. That's
I think,
a good point.
But I don't know.
you're saying
It's all
be
individual.
open and honest about that.
Yeah, I'd say, just instead of like it just being it like, nah, that doesn't sound fun. I'm just going to shoot that down and wait till a better opportunity comes. Like I guess maybe just being open-minded to just helping out where
The problem is
the need is, but
so that goes both ways. Because there's also a problem with too many yes men, and so
sure.
like they don't know when to say no, and then they burn out.
right.
So
That's what I thought you were saying.
yeah, that's what I thought he was saying too. There was a balance, but anyway, I want to keep this one to an hour. We're an hour and 6 minutes.
Showtime.
No.
Wow.
This one was pretty easy. This was fun today.
Yeah, it
So,
was.
It was great. Let's come up with some more fun topics, Justin. This was your idea.
Justin?
Well, the astrology thing was your idea, and we kind of expanded
It
it.
started.
Yeah.
But
Let's go.
everyone follow your horoscopes today, and you know, hope everyone out there does the same. And have a good rest of your day. We'll catch you next week. Later.
What the